Hello. Long time no record. Wow, I can't believe it's been a couple years since I last made a video on this account, or any video at all. I was sitting in bed the other night thinking about the YouTube videos I made in our move here to the Chicago area. And I was really kind of bummed that I didn't keep up with it, and thinking like, man, I have some really cool memories, and imagine all the memories I would have and how different my life is now, and how much I regret that I stopped. Just like how I stopped writing journals as a teenager, and all the times I'm like, man, I should record this section of my life, and then I didn't. And I thought, well, what's stopping me? I could pick up my phone literally anytime I have it in my hand and start again. And I've just been thinking about it for days and days, and I always get caught up in the I'm busy right now, or my background isn't perfect, or I didn't put on makeup today, or I don't have enough to say, and I just stop and I don't keep going. Or I find a million reasons why I shouldn't record the video. And I'm sitting here outside of my daughter's dance studio with an hour to kill. And so I thought, well, what excuse do I have now? My makeup isn't done. My hair is a mess. I'm wearing literally the most unthought out outfit possible. But I don't care. I'm going to make myself jump into this because I feel like my life right now is kind of interesting and cool, and it's going through a lot of changes, and I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm sure, in 10 years from now, I will have wished that I kept recording, even if my makeup wasn't done and things are chaotic and messy. So this is my first video back in a really long time, and I'm probably not going to edit it, and I'm just going to throw it up there and just have it. Maybe I can put in some clips of things that I think would be interesting, but as crazy as my life is now, I definitely don't have time for editing. So this is going to be a any videos probably for a very long time, if I continue this, which I hope I do, will be an unedited just account of my life and the changes. So if you're new here, I haven't posted in a long time. I originally started this Facebook. I originally started this YouTube channel to keep my family up to date. I had lived in St. Louis, where all of my family's from, for my entire life, my husband too. And when we were making the move to potentially live somewhere else, which ended up being the Chicago area, I wanted my family to feel like they could still watch my kids grow up and do fun things and have just, a memory of this really big, challenging change in our life and where that would take us. And I did that, and I recorded through the point where we were moving, and then I stopped for a few reasons that I'm actually going to talk about. But here we are, fast forward probably 5 years, and yeah, I want to start this. So if your family or friends watching this again, welcome. Hopefully I can show you some cool things about our life now that, due to just the busyness and the chaos of what life is, I maybe don't share normally, because I don't post a lot on Facebook anymore right now. And if you're some random stranger, or an aspiring doula, or an aspiring midwife, or you found me through probably what I'm going to talk about is birth work a lot and show that part of my life, welcome. I don't think I'm anybody particularly special. I have kids, and I have a husband, and a kind of a crazy amount of cats. And I'm just doing this for my own personal memories, but you're welcome to hang out and watch the crazy ride. So so catch up time. Gosh, the last video I made, I think, was probably winter or maybe spring-ish of 2019, 2020, I don't know. I stopped recording because right after we moved to the Chicago area, my husband and daughter, and if you're friends and family, you know who they are, were in a really horrific car accident. They were hit by a drunk driver who lived close to our new house, or like in the same town-ish. And she was had a really nice job and seemed like she would have been an upstanding citizen, and she was driving impaired with alcohol and potentially drugs in the car, and she hit them at a stoplight. They were stopped on their way to a daddy-daughter dance, one of the first things that they were going to go do in the new town that we lived in. And she hit them from behind going at a high rate of speed, and they suffered some significant injuries and trauma, and we actually were in litigation for a court case for over 3 years, and for probably, at least a year after that consumed so much of our lives, and it's what I wanted to talk about because it was something that we were going through, and it was really hard, and I couldn't risk making videos and sharing things that our lawyer had asked us not to. I actually got in trouble for sharing some things on Facebook that were honestly just my opinions and my thoughts on the justice system and how victims of impaired driving are just not given the voice that they deserve, and that perpetrators of impaired driving or driving under the influence are just really given a slap on the wrist and just, I don't know. It's not in the victim's favor a lot of the time. And so I stopped making videos, and I thought it would just be for a couple of months, and then I thought it would be a year, because who thinks a court case in such a cut and dry, clear, evidence heavy thing would take 3.5 years plus to finish. And so I thought, well, I'll just go back to vlogging after that. And I didn't. It took so long. But that court case is finished. It went really well in our favor. I'm happy with the outcome. There are things that will still be lifelong lasting implications from that, that we'll always deal with, but I'm glad we can put it behind us. I think we hadn't gone through a whole pandemic the last time I made videos, so then I didn't vlog because we're stuck in our house, not doing anything, trying to survive what had to be one of the most terrifying experiences for me as a mom with a baby that was, premature and had health concerns and lung damage, and that was really intense. And I didn't feel like a space that wanted to vlog that. So that happened. I'm sure everybody knows that was crazy. And then I was working, I'm sure I recorded a little bit that I was working in a job in healthcare, in an adjacent town at that time. And when the pandemic hit, I left that position. I just wasn't willing to bring germs into my home around my son. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but if you know me, you know that I have always enjoyed pregnancy and birth education and advocating for women's rights and physiological birth and birth rights, and all of that has always been something I've been so passionate about. And I knew that I wanted to be a doula ever since I had one with my daughter. And I just didn't have the time to pursue that officially. I had kind of unofficially done it for friends and family. But leaving my job in the pandemic was certainly a time that I got to decide that I wanted to pursue that as a career and take the training and dive right in and really go for it. And I did. And that has been a really amazing journey and a huge part of my life for the past 5 years. I started a business. I as a solo doula, and then I met some really amazing people and I formed a partnership, and then I met more amazing people and I formed a team of doulas who work with me now. And after about 3.5 years of doing doula work, I felt like something was missing. I was seeing so much trauma in the hospital and so many things go on that I felt like I needed to make more of a difference than I could make as a doula given my healthcare background, and I decided to pursue midwifery. And so for the past year and couple months, I have been training in an apprenticeship process to become a certified professional midwife and a licensed midwife in the state of Illinois. And it has been going really great, and I am so passionate and so happy. And I get so much joy from my career and my schooling and the connections that I've made with people through that process. I think that I've probably helped with over 500 births at this point in some capacity, whether I was the doula who was there for their delivery, or I was one of the doulas working with them prenatally, or I taught them a childbirth education class, or I did newborn care support in their home right after their baby came home, or I was the midwife, one of the midwives on their team. And so that's been something that's been really special to me. So that is what is making life so crazy right now. I am running a business. I am mentoring doulas. I'm training new doulas. I am contracting work to doulas as part of, my small team. Running a business. I am a full-time midwifery student. A part of that is, working in clinical settings and doing prenatal visits and postpartum visits and home visits and births and studying. And then I'm also a mom, obviously, still, to a teenager and a pre-teenager, and who likes hockey and dance and extracurricular activities. That's crazy. My husband, Derek, is still at the same water plant that there's videos, I think, of us in our transition here where we were looking at the towns and talking about his job, but he's still there. And he loves it, and this was really a great decision and transition for us to move here, and getting to watch him grow and expand in his position and learn and take on extra responsibility, and knowing what he wants for the future. It's been really awesome to watch that. So things are still good there. But yeah, in the future, I just want to share, I want to look back on these. I want my kids to be able to look back on these memories. So if nobody ever watches this but us, that's fine. I'm not really looking for a following, but yeah, I want to talk about becoming a midwife and some of the births that I see, of course, keeping confidentiality, giving my thoughts on the maternity care system, showing my life, showing what it's like to be a doula, and fun things that we can do, hopefully, in the Chicagoland area. I'll be completely honest, we don't get out and do a lot of crazy things. I think we've been into the city 5 times since we moved here. I don't like going into the city. I actually avoid it at all costs. But we still do fun things, especially when we have family come into town. So I want to show more of that, and hopefully I keep this up. I feel like the first video was the hardest, but I'm just going to throw this up there, and welcome if you're new and you want to keep watching. Welcome back if you're friends or family and you subscribe to this channel and now you've gotten a ping that I've posted something again. It's an accountability thing and a memory thing, and I'll probably just ramble and chat and I'll try to remember how to splice in some photos and videos and fun things as I remember how to do this. But yeah, thanks for watching my intro back video, and have a good night.